All right, welcome back. This week's segment of the week is the Hail Mary. So for those of you who don't know how this works, in this segment, Kadin or I will give our Hail Mary, which is basically we're just launching one out there, final seconds of the game, putting one out there. It's our hot take. All right, so we're just kind of throwing something out there. If it sticks, if it happens, we're going to rub it in all of your faces that we are the best at predicting football, and if it doesn't happen, we'll just be like, it's okay, it was part of the segment. So Kadin has a Hail Mary for this week. Kadin, what do you have prepared for us?
Yeah, so Austin, first I'm going to ask you, I think you explained it very well. It's a hot take. So can you go ahead and explain a hot take? Would a hot take be considered, you can say, we're going to make some hot takes, not to bash on any other podcasts or any other news shows, but you can say Debbie is by the way, Austin and Debbie have no idea what this Hail Mary is, so they're both pretty excited. They keep typing in the chat, but you, not to dog on any other shows or people giving their hot takes, but some people can go out and say, hot take, Kansas City goes out and they three-peat. Okay, that's not a very hot take. Or hot take, the Panthers don't finish the worst team in the NFL. Yes, that is unlikely. The Panthers will most likely finish the worst team in the NFL, but it's not the hottest of takes because the odds are so much in their favors, So this week, my Hail Mary is involving the Kansas City Chiefs. It's not going to be that the Kansas City Chiefs go ahead and three-peat. My Hail Mary is that the Kansas City Chiefs finish the season undefeated, have an undefeated season, and three-peat. Looking ahead at the Chiefs' rest of their season schedule. They're obviously undefeated at this point in the season. They have a bye this week. They go to San Francisco their next week. Yes, that could be a tough game any other season, but right now, San Francisco is really struggling, like we just talked about on this week's episode. San Francisco has a game on Thursday night, and then they have to try to get right before Kansas City. Kansas City has a bye this week, so they have a long time to prepare for that game. So I think Kansas City will be okay there. Looking at their next couple games, they got Vegas. You're going to beat the Raiders. You got Tampa Bay. That's a tough team, but this is a primetime game. I trust Mahomes and Andy Reid and Travis Kelce and the Chiefs and their voodoo magic on primetime over any other team. The Chiefs on primetime are not a fair team. And then you got Denver. I know that they're a lot better so far this season, but you're going to beat Denver. You got Buffalo. Buffalo's not looking scary right now. We just talked about what they did this week and what they've done the last couple weeks. You got the Panthers. You might put up 1,000 points in that game. You got the Raiders again. You got the Chargers again. You got the Browns. We know how the Browns are right now. The hardest game remaining on their schedule, in my personal opinion, is Houston. Week, what would that be? 16. It's home. That place is going to be loud. That is the only real game that I'm like, okay, they have a fair chance to lose this game. And especially if they are undefeated going into that, they might be like, okay, we can start to not rest our starters, but it's okay if we lose. But I think the Chiefs have it in their mind of we are going to three-peat. They are so much better than everybody else. They're undefeated and they haven't played Chiefs football. Mahomes hasn't played any Mahomes football yet. He hasn't had a good game yet. Travis Kelce just had his first good game. Travis Kelce looks like he's back to form. Yes, Rashee Rice got injured, but you know what they did? They went in and they brought Juju Smith-Schuster. Yes, I know he is so old and washed up, but he came out on Monday night's game and looked so amazing. And it's like, can they just find anybody and make them become a superstar because Mahomes is throwing them the ball? And not to mention, the trade deadline's coming up, and the team that is most being talked about bringing in a wide receiver is Kansas City. The team who has the best offer right now to the Raiders for Davante Adams is Kansas City. A team who's really trying to get Amari Cooper is Kansas City. Deontay Johnson, Kansas City. All the receivers that are being talked about and being linked to Kansas City. Their offensive line is the best in the NFL. Travis Kelce is back. Xavier Worthy opens up the deep shots to this offense, which then opens up the middle of the field. Kareem Hunt looks like rookie Kareem Hunt when he was in Kansas City originally. Their defense is one of the best in the league, and I think they have that villain like mindset of they know everybody hates them. They know people want the Chiefs off the screen. They know they're tired of hearing about Travis Kelce. They're tired of seeing Mahomes, and I think they know that. And I think they're like, all right, we're gonna come out here and we're just gonna annoy everybody, and we're going to win these games, and we're going to go ahead and three-peat, but we're going to not just three-peat, quietly go ahead and have an undefeated season. I don't think nobody talks about that because it's not everyone knows, oh, an undefeated season's never going to happen. That's why it's a Hail Mary. That's why it's a hot take. But looking ahead, I truly think that could happen. And when once they get to the playoffs, if they get to the playoffs undefeated, you know it's over because you know that team's not, first of all, losing in the playoffs, period, let alone having their first loss of the season come in the playoffs. That's my Hail Mary for this week.
That is quite.
Debbie, go ahead and clip that if you want to. Post it on Instagram Reels. Let it blow up in the comments. Let people get so angry about it. I don't care. I truly believe that it's going to happen, and I'm not rooting for it per se because I can't stand the Chiefs as much as the next guy, but at the same time, it would be really stinking cool to see. And I'm not using this as an added example, but people will say the refs tend to give the Kansas City more calls. I know we talked about that last week, and that could be the difference in a few of these games. That's just, unfortunately, that's how sports work. You're always going to see when the Patriots were good, the Patriots would always get more calls. Now it's the Chiefs. In baseball, it's the Yankees that are getting favorable calls. The Mets, the Dodgers. In basketball, it's the Lakers. It's the Celtics. Those dominant big market teams that everybody likes, and the Cowboys, like those teams get favorable outcomes from referees and from the league itself. And I think that it could definitely be a little bit of a factor as well down the stretch. Go ahead, Debbie, and clip the undefeated rest of season and see what Debbie says. Debbie says it'll happen. All right, so we'll see how many people disagree with that. So, Austin, what do you think?
I mean, that is definitely a hot take. I mean, we have not seen a team have a chance to go undefeated since, was it 2012? I want to say.
15.
Is that the 15?
The Panthers went 15-1.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about when the
going into the Super Bowl. Oh,
the Patriots were undefeated going into the Super Bowl. I want to say that's 2012, but it could have been a little earlier.
I think it was. Yeah, I'm not going to try to guess actually.
Let's see, 2007 New England Patriots. Apart from the 1972 Dolphins, this is according to Debbie, pulled up this information. Apart from the 1972 Dolphins, 3 NFL teams have completed an undefeated, untied regular season. 1934 Chicago Bears. That's crazy. 1942 Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
And then 2007 New England Patriots. Okay, so 1934 and 1942. Okay, so when everyone was either starving from the Great Depression or at war. Got it. So the 2007 New England Patriots, obviously the closest team to that. So, I mean, that's definitely a very hot take, but you make a compelling case just based on the games left to be played. I mean, obviously, how is their schedule so easy? That's really my question. How you be Super Bowl champions and then have an easy schedule? That's kind of crazy. But you make a compelling case there, and you're right in the sense that like Mahomes has not played crazy football yet. You know, like he hasn't done anything to make Tony Romo or Chris Collinsworth fall out of their chairs quite yet. So,
I mean, they do that anyway.
Right.
He could knee the ball and they'd be like, did you just see that?
That's a heck of a play by Mahomes there. Debbie also pulled up the Kansas City Chiefs has the 12th easiest schedule based on their opponents' wins, averaging 8.2 wins for their opponents. That's because the AFC West plays against the NFC South this year. So shout out to the NFC South for being the worst. That's definitely a hot take. Maybe we should counter the hot take with the alternative hot take that the New York Giants will limp to the Super Bowl and then beat the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. That won't happen, just so everyone knows.
That would not happen.
But that's a good hot take. Yeah, let's clip that. Let's post it everywhere. And when it happens, when the Chiefs.
I will be. I'm going to be rooting for it for the rest of this season.
We will be circulating this clip with the date 5 weeks into the season everywhere. We will be pumping this everywhere.
I hope so. For that sake, I hope so. For the podcast.
Yeah. All right. Before we sign off here, Kadin, the last thing I want to mention is I didn't really notice it until you were full screen on my screen, but what on earth is the candle back there? Does it smell in your room, or what's going on there?
Yeah, it's a candle. You know, you burn it to smell it. I like the smell of candles, and my family doesn't burn candles. And I had mentioned that to my girlfriend, and then the one day I showed up at her house, and then she's like, "Here, this is a candle for your house, for your room." And so I'm burning it in my room, so it smells good.
All right.
Is that a crazy concept to you?
It's a little bit of a crazy concept, but you know what?
How is that a crazy concept?
I don't know. You didn't really strike me as a candle kind of guy before this. I mean, I don't want to say I lost respect for you, but it certainly took a hit. I
just think it's a good smell. I don't think anything weird by it.
Maybe this will redeem it. What's the scent? Tell me what the candle is right now, and I swear if it's like lavender blossom pink fruit, it's going to be an issue.
It is.
You're going to have to come back to the microphone.
It's brilliant citrus.
All right, first off, what on earth is that? Brilliant citrus? You can't just throw an adjective in front of a word and then call it a smell.
I don't know why you're hating so much. I know what I'm going to get you for your birthday. I'm just going to get you a bunch of candles now.
You're going to get me superb red? Is that going to be my smell?
Shut up. It says, hold on.
Oh. Please tell me there's like a pack and that's what you're going to look at. How many candles do you have?
No, I have another one, but
you have more than one candle. All right.
I have two.
It's two candles.
It says right here. Can you hear me from over there?
I can hear you, yes.
It says sugared citrus and tropical fruits with blood orange and currant. So it smells good, all right? Makes my room smell good.
All right. All right, I won't hate. Maybe I'm just hating because I can't have candles in my dorm room.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's what it is. All right, so that'll do it for this week. Want to remind you guys one more time that if you would have any great ideas for what you would like to see Kadin and I do for the punishment at the end of the year for who predicts the most games incorrectly, be sure to comment that on this video or DM us on Instagram at KA_football. That will do it for this week. We are excited that you guys joined us for the recap of week 5 and looking forward to week 6. We will see you guys next week. It's going to be a fun one, so don't miss it. See you guys then.